There have been quite a few claims that Tesla's growth story has come to an end, but is it really true? And I'm just going to tell you now, it's kind of not true. But that's okay, because we've got a bunch of charts we're going to go into that paint a more complete picture. I'm Brian. Welcome to my Tesla Weekend. A massive thank you to my newest channel members on YouTube, Frank, William, Blossom EV, and Rob. Thank you guys for your decision to support the channel. This is how I'm actually able to keep going. This is my full-time job, and YouTube doesn't pay well. It's a famous battle between the ad blockers and the ads, and if you're using an ad blocker, that's okay with me, because ads are terrible and YouTube implements them poorly. So, thanks for people who are picking up the slack. It's wonderful. Thank you. So I did see this great chart from Shill. I'm not sure how to pronounce this name. This is a great follow. Very small channel, very small Xer, but great content. Love it. And I'm going to be smacking my hearts as we go. That doesn't sound right. Q3 2023 charts Tesla production and deliveries on both a quarterly and trailing 12-month basis, with deliveries as a percentage of production. Other charts and analysis will be posted in this thread. Great quarter, despite not beating Wall Street's expectations. Remember, when Wall Street says Tesla missed, what they're saying is we missed. We got it wrong. Quick, blame somebody else. So let's look at this. Here is production and deliveries. How much of your deliveries did you actually sell? And it should be around 100%. As you're growing, it should be a little under 100%. And you can see they're still delivering all the vehicles that they sell, more or less. And the trailing 12-month figures in a cleaner way to look at. So over the past year, how many of the vehicles did you make? Did you actually sell? And this is the kind of numbers you want to see. They're delivering a little bit less than they produce. That makes sense because the total number is growing. Of course, there's going to be more in transit. That's just how it works. That's just the first chart, baby. We're just getting started. Let's compare Tesla versus Volkswagen. This quarter, VW finally has a 1.3% increase in their BEV sales versus Tesla. Hey. So how much is that actually? Well, the black is Volkswagen, and the red is Tesla. And you can see that, look at that. The black line is going up. If you were to track it, Volkswagen, BEV, trailing 12 months world sales. There was a time when Tesla did as great as 49% of global BEV sales. Is that right? No. Yes. And now, total VW Group BEV sales. So VW, as a percentage of Tesla's deliveries, Volkswagen got up to 49%. And now it's fallen to 43, 41, back to 42. Good number. Not the complete picture, is it? Before I post, let's see, I believe some comments. For those who've been reading my comments about gigawatt hours deployed, this is the sort of data I believe matters. Tesla has 25% market share of automotive gigawatt hours deployed. Okay, let's look at some of the big growth companies. You see, this company posted 400% gains, 600% gains. Is that sustainable? Of course not. If you look back 2 years, you'll see, look at these huge 600%. Yeah, they can't sustain it. Because of course you can't. You can't always grow at 600%. Tesla down here in the 50-ish% range, they look very steady. Disappointing, perhaps. They're still lower growth than a lot of these others. Well, are they? Because they kind of leapfrog them, even when these are high growth, small volume companies. BYD also big growth, but declining. Because as you get bigger, growth is harder. Growing from, if you were to try and double your production every quarter, that's great when you go from 1 car to 2 or 2 cars to 4, 4 cars to 8, getting a little harder. Pretty soon you're talking 1 million versus 2 million versus 4 versus 8 million. You start running out of headroom and it becomes logistically challenging. Trailing 12 months, BEV growth rate of Tesla and major Chinese manufacturers, Tesla, oh, this growth rate it's stagnant. Right, but it's a growth rate, not just sales. 0% would be stagnating. Aura, you can see, has gone to negative growth rates. I don't know what the obstacle is, but it's real. All right, next chart. To put these charts into context and further illustrate, is this one that this one has a correction on it, so I won't click on it, but growth rates at low volume are not representative of the long term. Here's a third trailing 12-month chart for the same Chinese manufacturers and Tesla. And there was a correction because the numbers were incorrect. So you can see trailing 12-month growth rate, Tesla getting up pretty good, not 100%, but quite good, versus these others who are, look at our growth, look at it, it's 400 or 500%. Oh, right. So many of them have fallen to well below Tesla's growth levels, some even negative. Xiaopeng, negative. Aura, negative growth rates. They'll come back. The whole point here is what we're saying is growth is difficult. And maintaining growth is difficult. As long as you're still moving units, I think you're doing great. There's some more great ones here. And again, let's smack a couple more hearts here, because this is a great account. Let's look at all sales and growth and compare it by 3 categories. The red is Tesla. You can see that. It's going up nice. The second line, the second column, is all European manufacturers. And the third one is BYD. And the fourth one is all the other Chinese. This is a great way to divide it. This account chose a really great metric, I think. So let's look at Tesla versus all of Europe. You can see going back to Q1 of 2021, that's a good comparison right there. They're doing pretty good. Oh, look, they got ahead. They're getting ahead. Are they getting ahead? No, they're getting ahead. This second column is getting ahead. And you can see that the Europeans are inching ahead of Tesla. Mind you, it takes all of them working as a team, or more fighting each other as a team, I guess, I don't know, to just barely inch ahead of Tesla. Now let's look at the third column, BYD. Over a year ago, I did an interview with Sandy Monroe on this channel where I said, it's 2030, Tesla's first place, who's number 2? And he said, BYD. No hesitation, BYD. And that got me thinking. So ever since, I've been digging in deeper and deeper to BYD, and I agree with him. So if you've been watching this channel, you already know that BYD is number 2. They're vertically integrated. They make their own batteries. They design their own chips. They do a lot of the things that other manufacturers farm out. It gives them an advantage. And while their manufacturing efficiencies are quite bad right now, they will improve. So if we look, BYD was barely a blip, not even as good as Volkswagen. But BYD, the white line, just keeps getting bigger. And now it's catching up with Tesla. It's getting very exciting. If you're BYD, or if you're China, or if you're an EV owner or an aspirational one, that's a good number to see. And the last column here is all Chinese manufacturers combined. If you look, 2 years ago, they were barely above half of what Tesla is, but they keep climbing. So while their growth story has slowed tremendously, you can see their column keeps catching up with Tesla's, and it's very likely that in the next few quarters, they will surpass them. Of course it is. Trailing 12 months BEV sales, unstacked. Tesla versus US and European major manufacturers. So on this one, we've got the black is Volkswagen. You can see they are growing. It's not very exciting, though. The growth isn't exciting. The unit volume sales is. Stellantis in gray, you can see them climbing. Again, not exciting growth, but decent numbers. Getting to 500,000, close to over 300,000. That's quite good, especially for a brand that you don't see in a pure electric form in the US very often. BMW, the numbers are climbing. These are all good numbers. This is not to say that one company is bad and the rest are, it's not like that. All of this is successes in different ways. You just have to understand how to measure it. GM, the white figure, boy. I mean, if we had to pick one that is, I don't know what the opposite of leading is, that'd be it. Lagging, trailing, disappointing. Yeah, they know what they did. And then Tesla versus major Chinese manufacturers. And this is where we're seeing the growth. The BYD we just talked about. The red is, of course, Tesla. The white is BYD. I don't even have to look at the legend to understand that. And some of the others are starting to catch up in units. This is very exciting. Some companies over here, maybe you haven't even heard of. Leap Motor, Neta, GAC. Oh, it's very exciting. Trailing 12 months BEV sales, major manufacturers that reached a trailing 12 month above 250,000. So dropping a bunch of the smaller players just to get rid of the long tail. Yeah, Tesla at the top, BYD just behind, and then we've got the black is Volkswagen. The purples are the two Chinese brands, other than BYD, the GAC and the Geely. And then you've got Stellantis and BMW. I don't know, man. I'm just excited. I'm excited. Trailing 12 months growth rate of Tesla and major US, EU manufacturers. Ford. Well, we know what happened there. They've got a lot of inventory they can't move. That will improve. They've cut prices, and it's moving units because no one said the Lightning is a bad truck. No one serious anyway. What they said is, I can't justify the cost. VW, yeah. These are still growth. This is still growth territory. So I'm excited. I'm excited. I keep telling you that. Worldwide trailing 12 months BEV growth, Tesla versus US and EU manufacturers. That's good growth, baby. That's good growth. And I think that was all we needed. That was all we needed. Moral of the story, the lesson here, if you've learned just one thing today, it's that you always got to take these charts with a grain of salt. There are different ways to look at them. You can just say Tesla's growth story is over, but it doesn't paint a complete picture. And people know that. People know that they can make charts that are not necessarily the most forthcoming and honest and get quite a bit of traction out of it. One last story I wanted to cover today. This one is very unusual. Cologne police, body found outside of Cologne's strip club night moves. Why are we covering this? Well, because it turns out the gentleman was waiting for Tesla roadside assistance. He had called in for roadside assistance, and while waiting for his repairs, went into a strip club, and he has passed away. He had a heart attack or something and died. The Night Moves owner, Stephen Dick, said the victim was a local man in his 30s who came in with another man, and police found the man alone with his car the next day, and he was known to others at the club. The police did say, we're very early on. It's not believed criminal activity occurred. There's nothing obviously suspicious, he said, of the body found at a strip club. Well, at least he got to own a Tesla, and at least he died doing what he loved. You know, maybe his grave will say he died the way he lived, drowning in. So anyway, what did I miss? What did I misunderstand? Leave it in the comments. Stay tuned, stay juicy, all that good stuff, and I can't wait to hear from you clever robots on the next one.